But I was on time today.
7:01, 7:03. Yeah.
All right. Not hearing myself. Am I on?
No.
No. Okay.
Not yet.
All right.
Good morning, by the way.
Well, I have one cup of coffee so far. It's gonna warm up.
Good morning, Sun Prairie. Time to rise and shine.
What?
Time to pour the coffee with Bill. Who wants to be human? Time to rise and shine with Bill.
He has all the ingredients for disaster.
Time to get going with Bill. Welcome to Baker Street with your host, Bill Baker.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to a stroll down Baker Street. I'm Bill Baker, your host, and glad that you could join me this morning. It's going to be an interesting show today. First of all, we're going to talk about a great celebration that's happening here in Sun Prairie. And if I turn up my headset, there we go. Now I can hear myself talk. Wow. Now, a lot of times I do like to hear myself talk. That's what my mom said anyway, back in the day. Hey, we're going to talk about the Kentucky Derby event that's happening this weekend with the Library Foundation and the Spring Gala. And in the studio with me is one of my favorites, Miss Theresa Stevens.
Good morning.
She is here, and she could talk if she had the microphone up. There you go.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Took a long trip. I was down visiting my dad, yes, down in Kentucky. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about my trip. You know, it's a 7-hour trip that, of course, Speed Racer here always sets the clock, and I just want to get down there and get going. We're going to talk about my adventures along the way. We're going to talk about aging parents, especially we're going to chat about my dad. He's not listening, so that's okay. I can say anything I want. We're going to talk about a subject that I think is just flippin' hilarious. Hilarious. And it's about gender equity for crash test dummies. And I thought that'd be a great subject with Theresa because it's going to be a fun one. And I mean, we might get a little serious if time allows because we're going to talk about Title IX. What that's all about. Now, we know that that's become an issue recently because of the alleged incidents that happened at the high school with 4 young ladies, the freshman ladies, and an alleged exposure by well, I'm going to say it this way. I know I'm going to get it. I'm getting the laser beams already. A male that just proclaimed, I'm trans. And how do you handle that? And so we're going to talk about that a little bit. I'm really more into the Title IX thing because I'm concerned for the ladies. And, Title IX was created to really protect ladies. How do you do this? See, I'm not even saying it the right way on this, but how do you protect ladies from all the abuse and discrimination and everything? That sexual-based discrimination. How would you like to have all of a sudden you're a lady volleyball player, and now we have a 6'8" gentleman that's now saying I'm trans? Remember, the net's lower. But we're gonna talk about that. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Big thing today is the Library Foundation, one of the best fundraisers of the year, coming this Saturday. Any tickets left?
There are a couple of tickets left.
Oh my God, get them before they're gone. That's what I want to say to you. Get out there and let's get going on these tickets. It's going to be a blast. I have a date.
Awesome.
It's not Terry.
You mentioned that.
I know, she's got to go see her mom. It's funny,
Oh,
I was
okay.
with my dad this last weekend. Now she's going to be down with her mom in Florida. It's almost identical what we're going through. So Erin Barth is going to be my date.
Fun.
She's got her hat and everything. She's all
Excellent.
ready. And Terry's all, she's
good
I'm
with
cool
it.
with this.
Okay.
We're just friends.
Yeah.
I'm more like her dad. She's a young one. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. But
Good.
let's do this. Let's get this show started. And don't forget, you're listening to 103.5 WLSP, the Sun, right here in beautiful Sun Prairie. We're underwritten by those wonderful folks at the Bank of Sun Prairie and, of course, the Baker Realty Group. Glad to be a part of it. But like I start every show, let's go fishing, and fishing in the dark. Good morning, everybody. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, get ready for a info-packed show. The crash test dummies.
Yeah, what is that about?
Oh my gosh. OMG. Eric Sullivan, good morning. Hey Julie, good to see you this morning too. They're spending $20 million on female crash test dummies. But look at the dimensions. That ain't no Wisconsin woman.
Well, Anna's taller than that. She's
I know!
5'6", and she's 13. She also weighs a little more than that.
She's a good Wisconsin girl.
No, not by a lot, but she's right around there. Yeah, that's like a teenager.
This was all over the radio.
Wow.
It was all over the radio, and so I even have the clip from the.
There's so many questions there. None of them appropriate for radio.
I know, right?
Sorry.
But here's the thing: is who is it? Representative Rosa DeLauro of Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
I've got her soundtrack
Okay.
that we'll play.
Okay.
Oh my gosh!
Mm.
I know.
Mm-mm-mm.
So good morning, Facebook. Glad that you guys you're getting a little bit of a peep of what we're going to talk about here. And if you've heard about the crash test dummies, it's something we got to talk about. Eric Sullivan, you're a cop. You know what I'm talking about, man. Crash test dummies. Oh my gosh.
I'm surprised you didn't pull one of their songs. Crash Test Dummies.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Sandy Dew's a producer. Of course, I was skimming through things, my schedule and all this. I'm like, oh, wait, we got the Gala on Saturday, so I'm driving. I kept thinking, I gotta call you. I called everybody else. Talking to my son, my sister, my dad. And when I got home, I'm sitting there, I'm finally relaxing a little bit. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta call Theresa.
When you called, we were getting ready to go out to dinner. My parents came down to take us out for birthday dinners.
Whose birthday?
Julie's is on Tuesday and mine's Wednesday.
Yours is Wednesday?
Yeah.
Sweet,
So-
29 again.
Yeah, exactly.
We have the...
So the text worked great because I could do that under the table.
So what do you like to do on your birthday?
Oh, I like to go out for a hike. I like
Yeah.
to get outside. It's springtime and garden. That shouldn't surprise anybody.
No big dinner?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
This year, John's taking me to Wollersheim because
Oh.
Sal's is doing their special dinner out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. A great way to start any Monday morning. And fishing in the dark. You probably think I'm a fisherman. Well, I haven't been fishing forever. First of all, you have to put your beer down if you're going to fish. That's the... No, I'm teasing. I haven't had alcoholic beverages in 3 months.
Wow.
I know. I started that training whole thing and dropped 6% of body fat, and I'm on a trend. I'm going.
All right.
I'm making this happen. I figure by June I'll be at 12%. And Craig Kuchenbecker said, no.
It slows down.
Yeah, he says, do you realize you have to do almost twice as much to get to that? I'm like, what? What you talking about?
Yep.
What you talking about, Wills? But yeah, so it's, I've been dry. And we're having mint juleps on Saturday night.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
I've had a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're also having a non-alcoholic pink punch.
I'll do that.
Probably be high in sugar, but you'll still feel fancy.
I feel special.
Yeah.
Hey, that voice you hear, if you're just joining us, is Theresa Stevens, who is the executive director of the Library Foundation. We've got a big event going this weekend, which is part of the entire fundraising aspect and the renovation. Is that what we're calling it, a renovation?
Renovation and expansion.
Expansion, there we go. I couldn't think of the E word. E's must not be good for me this morning. And if you like, we are on Facebook, so you can go to Facebook, go to Baker William J. You can go to the Media Center, 1035's Media Center page. You can see us there. Leave us a message, put in a post, and we will get that message. But let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, first of all, how's everything going with the fundraising?
It's going well. We're
Or the campaign, I
the
should say.
campaign. Yeah,
Yes.
we're a little over 40% of the way.
Okay.
So it's trending well, and we're still on track to get to our goal.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, 40%. Are you where you should be right now?
Yeah, I would like to be a little further along,
Uh-huh.
but we have so many gift conversations in the works right now that I feel
what?
good. Gift conversations.
What, you're wanting gifts now?
Yes.
What kind of gifts
Well,
do you want?
financial gifts.
Yeah, tell that to people, because there's...
So in fundraising, I mean, we call it gifts, contributions,
Uh-huh.
and one of the biggest ways that you can do this for a large campaign like this is having conversations with individuals and with businesses, but it's building relationships, and that's
Yeah.
what it really is, and it takes time to do that. We have some really good relationships over the last 20 plus years that the foundation has been around, but there's so many new businesses that have come in since then in the last 20 years that it's still a process of getting out there, getting to know people, and then getting to a point where you can find something mutually beneficial that the library can offer that they want to support
Oh, yeah.
and support financially.
It's a great cause.
It is.
I want to say this to people. If you've not been to the library lately, you need to be.
Mhm.
You got to go check it out. I use the library a lot because, man, I swore I was never going to say this again. Say, after COVID, so COVID was a great reason for me to be a single agent again, a real estate agent, and I mean, everything fell into place. Everything fell into place. I'm trying to shorten the story on this. The library has become a place for me to hold meetings.
Absolutely.
Because we got the meeting rooms, or what do you call them? It's not meeting rooms. Like a two-person or...
Oh, the study room.
Study rooms.
Mhm.
You can sign up and use those.
Mhm.
Theresa and I are both part of the Friends of the Sun Prairie Media Center.
Mhm.
So we hold our board meetings in there.
Yep, in the boardroom.
Right. We hold our... some of us hold our committee meetings there
Mhm.
also. You can, if you're into your genealogy, you can go there and you can use the services without buying it.
Yeah.
And believe me, it's expensive, like $300 if you want to buy it.
Yeah.
And so, what's the name of that company? I'm spacing it. The genealogy. Oh my gosh. Ancestry.com.
Ancestry.
Ancestry is, and the library is sitting there waiting for you. Go find out. Well, first of all, as my mom said, be careful what you look for. You might find something that you might be very surprised. And I said, well, Mom, what are you talking about? She goes, you are from the South. I'm like, oh, well, what's that mean? She goes, just be careful. I said, well, what are you telling me? Do you know something? She goes, Billy, I don't know anything, but it might be there. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, well, it's history.
Right.
It's history. But
Mhm.
but that is so cool. And then all of the different, there's the workstations, there's music, there are albums.
Yeah, we got vinyl.
You got LP, man.
Yeah.
I love
And
those.
it's so popular.
Really?
Yes. I was there on Thursday looking for a few,
Okay.
and there was only 3 albums left to choose from.
Oh my God.
They're all checked out.
What do you mean you're all checked out? How many do you have? Like 10 or something? Or?
No, I think we're close to 40.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's it?
That's all that was there on Thursday.
We gotta go get some more albums.
I know.
Man, my immediate thought was I should donate mine. And then I went, no.
Right.
I got my Styx album.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
my Paradise album, where you turn it over and it's got the ultraviolet that's in it.
Cool.
You move it. That's the cool thing about albums.
Yeah.
Vinyl's coming back.
It is coming back.
It really is. I loved albums you could open them up and you could read what's inside of it.
Yeah, a lot of them had the lyrics printed.
Exactly, right?
So you could actually learn the words to the song and not guess it.
Right.
Make up your own.
I do that all the time. I didn't know that's the word for that. Oh my, is that how that goes? In college I found out that albums that open up wide are used for different things. Cleanings. I mean, stuff is done in the inside of those, and just saying. I mean, there's a lot of creativity that goes on.
Yeah.
But it's the albums, and then used to get the books. There'd be stories about stuff.
Oh, we still have those too.
Well, no. I mean, with the albums, you'd have a little insert like Springsteen's box set. That is hermetically sealed in a Ziploc bag, nicely protected, because that is a collector's item. And with all the information and the posters and all that, you got a poster in there.
That's cool.
Well, I know, right? You can't get posters now on
No.
Spotify or whatever.
Nope.
But we have books. We got. We have to plug this as a line and
Yes.
we have large print,
Yes.
which is great for me. You see me put my peepers on.
Yep.
And you said that's a very popular spot, even for younger people.
Yeah. So that's something that we've seen is like 30% of the usage is by a younger population. So some of it can be that's the first available on a very popular title.
Oh.
So they just check it out because they still want to read the story. Some enjoy the thrill of turning pages faster, and the larger print makes you feel a little more accomplished. Like, wow, look at how many pages I read.
Oh, wow. I get that.
And for some, they just like the larger print. It's just easier on the eyes. They just enjoy the story better.
Now, are you a book reader or a Kindle?
I am a book reader.
Yeah, me too. For exactly what you just said. I like keeping track of how many, and I don't want to dog ear that page.
I do dog ear. I've admitted that in the library in front of staff, and I've gotten the looks, and I knew I was going to get the looks. I was like, I do, and I have so many bookmarks around my house too, but I still dog ear. It's just,
Oh, man.
You're right there.
But there's so many activities you can do at the library too.
There are.
It's more than just books.
Oh, yeah. So yesterday we had 2 authors in for a story time, Pat Zelo Miller and Charlton Trujillo, sorry. And they were reading from 2 books. One was Lupe Lopez, Rockstar Rules, and one that just released last Tuesday, A Girl Can Build Anything. And we had some coloring pages and hard hats available for the kids, and we had some of the books on sale from Mystery to Me bookstore in Madison. And they read from the books, and then they answered questions, and it was really fun. It was a really empowering afternoon at the library. And then they hung out. They colored with the kids. They wrote stories with the kids. It was just an awesome event. And I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to tonight. We have Danielle Gay, Traveling Cheesehead.
She's awesome.
She's going to be at the library from 5 to 7 p.m. tonight.
Right.
She'll read a little bit from her new book, 100 Things to See and Do in Wisconsin Before You Die. Grab your notebook. Come get some ideas so you're never sitting around on a Saturday or Sunday again wondering, what am I going to do today? Come and get some ideas, get inspired, plan your trips.
Yeah.
Buy some copies for friends, family, gifts. If you're a real estate agent looking at bill, anyone who's working with people new to Wisconsin, new to some Prairie area, come out, buy this book, and a certain percentage of all of that is coming back to the library expansion.
Oh, it is tonight?
It is.
Okay, cool. I was going to ask you that.
And in April, we have a match. We have a $25,000 match going on this month. So that all goes
Towards that match?
towards the match.
Stop it.
And the gala, which I know
All
we'll
right.
get to soon enough.
No. So,
but
all
those
right.
tickets also go towards the match and towards the expansion project.
All right, I've already bought some books, but I'll buy some more.
Okay.
That's a great idea. I'll do that. Because I got to support her, and I got to support my library and you.
Yeah. There's an easy way.
I love my library. I know as a realtor that the library is one of the things that attracts people to Sun Prairie.
It's also one of the first places a lot of people come to.
Is it really?
If they know that the library is here.
Well, that's a good thing. A lot of people don't know the media center's here.
Yeah.
They go to the front desk. Hi, I'm here to see Bill. We have an interview. You're in the library. You have to go around the corner to the media center.
Yep.
We need a walkway right through. Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be cool? Can you fix that?
We'll kind of have one, I guess, with the media center. Or Makerspace.
Makerspace.
area. Yeah, Makerspace Media.
I got to get that taken care of too. Bill Serginian says, "Good morning, Bill and Teresa.
Good
Two
morning.
really good community people. Have a great day."
Thanks, Phil.
I love when people do that. Have a great day. And the next one, too. That's what I always want to say. And the next one, too. But no, the library is a blast. And with the expansion and all that, we're going to have the outside area. We can do a little bit of music.
Mhm.
I kind of like music.
Yeah,
I think it'll be cool.
that'd be awesome.
Who's going to schedule all that music?
Probably Steve Baker.
Steve
So-
Baker.
So do you know Steve
I
at the
don't.
library? Okay, so Steve is the one who brought in the vinyl records, and he does a lot of the bookings for the library on
Oh,
different
really?
performers. Yeah, but music is his specialty. He really loves it, and I'm told there may be a podcast, or he may do a podcast
Oh, cool.
too. So I am assuming he would be the one to be doing that. He's quite excited about the space and the opportunity
Sure.
to expand in there.
Well, let me ask you this about the vinyls. Are you looking for new vinyl, or
Yeah.
can it be used vinyl?
You know, that's a Steve question, actually. I have no idea. The
Man.
foundation, so that was one of our initiatives for this year. The foundation supported that. So when
Uh-huh.
people give, this is one of those cool initiatives that we can do.
Yeah.
So we just hand over a chunk of money to the library, and staff manages it all.
Well, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
You know who's a big vinyl guy?
Mm-mm.
Bill Connors.
Oh, yeah. I've seen him post on Facebook.
Oh my gosh, his vinyl of the night or something
Yeah.
like that. And he
It's
and I
surprising
had-
he doesn't do a podcast.
Well, I know.
Vinyl
right?
of the night.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh.
There's an idea for you, Bill.
Billy Connors, come on, bud. You're listening. I know. A lot of times he is listening. He likes our show. He's been a guest on here too several
Yeah.
times. Actually, I should have him on Wednesday because we're all meeting. The realtors
Yeah.
have Government Day.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be visiting all of our people,
Mhm.
Melissa Agard, Melissa Radcliffe,
Great.
chatting about housing issues. And I can't wait to hear them talk about, we need affordable housing. I just want to say to both of them, very politely, because I think the world of both ladies, shut up. Because you just don't use that phrase anymore. Unless you got a plan.
It just
It's-
demands a definition of affordable for who. What do you mean by affordable? Give me a number.
Right.
What are we trying to strive for? Because, I mean, I am blown away that studio apartments are going for $1,200, $1,400. I'd be less than that for a 4-bedroom, 3-bath
Home.
mortgage.
Yeah, I know, right? I've been trying to tell people. You sound like an advocate for me. I love it. 1-800 call Bill. Get a home today.
It's just like that. I don't know how that is affordable.
I don't either. We'll see what we're talking. I'll look it up. See what our current values are. Just this is always, some people it's exciting. Other people it's like, oh my God, Bill.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of numbers
Yeah.
and percentages, and it's not all glamorous.
No.
But, and I guess we need to also talk through what do those programs look like, and who can apply.
Right.
You know, how does that really help? And without those in place, or without those ideas ready to go, we're just spinning our wheels.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Or we're throwing good money towards bad. That's what I
Right.
have to say. But okay, it says 34 homes for sale that are actively on the market right now. I can tell you that it's actually 16. Sorry.
Well, that's more than some weeks. Some weeks that for like 4.
I know, right? But let me. So right now, of that 34 that's listed, now that's new construction also.
Mhm.
So that says the median price of all the homes listing, the median. So it's right in the middle, basically. That's the
Mhm.
easiest way to describe it. $571,000.
Wow.
The average is $557.
Holy
So
smokes.
I'm going to tell you what the this is. Give me a second here. I'm working my fingers.
Well, and I think there's a lot of people out there who would sell, but they have nowhere to go.
I can find them all. I do it all the time. I do. I mean, there's a trick to it,
Yeah.
and it's one that's told in secrecy.
Okay.
Because I don't want the other realtors out there.
Sure.
I'm about to announce a huge program. I won't do it today. That my company is going to be offering, and it's going to send a shockwave through Sun Prairie. So if I just take the current houses that are actually existing out there, the real houses.
Mhm.
So they're single family homes in the city of Sun Prairie. The median price is $482,000.
Wow.
That is not a first time home buyer price.
No.
It's nowhere close. Well, 350 maybe 325, 350. If Laura were here, she'd go yes. She usually goes thumbs up, thumbs down, but because it depends on the interest rate. But how do you do that? You know, and what's happened here is new construction has really messed with those numbers, and because demand is still high, inventory is low, it's driving up the prices still, and it's crazy. A house on South Street. You know where South Street
I
is.
know South Street.
It's 211 South Street. It is listed at $329,900. Catch us. The assessment on it is $243,000. Now, $243,000. Now, here's what I want. Before everybody gets excited about it, assessment is not market value.
Right.
Assessment is only used towards
For
setting the
taxes.
actual value for taxes.
Yeah.
Period. But it's a nice house. Been on the market 5 days. I'm surprised.
Yes, that is less than 5 days.
5 days. But it's 1,700 square feet. That is, that house is $197 a square foot. I'm trying to get people to look at square footage so they can compare it to new construction. And there's one on Sky Blue, which was built in 2005, $251 a square foot. I could build a new house for that, and why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
You know, but anyway. So we got a fun house. I'm sorry, forgot
Okay.
even how we did that, but we did. Oh, talking about
The library.
Well, no, talking about our legislators and all
Yeah.
that. And this, we're going to be down talking about this and other issues. I don't know if it's completely on our agenda. I'm going to talk about that on Wednesday anyway. But yeah. But here, you as my favorite alder, former alder. I mean, look at that. I mean, how do you deal with that? You know.
Well, and there's this other question of at what point does government need to get involved in, and at what point do we allow the market to do what the market's going to do?
Well, ooh.
I know,
Wow.
right?
Where does government get in, and then where does
We just let the market do what it's going to do.
Right. This now to pick on the mayor for a little bit. This does not allow diversity.
Right.
Those numbers are too strong. And you can't have.
And they're just really high. I mean, it's not for the younger
No.
crowd.
No.
These are not people graduating high school
Right.
who might be going into the workforce. This
Right.
is not people fresh out of college
Right.
going into the workforce.
Right.
This is not even people 10 years out of college
Right.
in the workforce. I mean,
Right.
these are incredible numbers. My husband and I always talked about, when we were looking for a house, is it more important to have house rich, cash poor, or a good enough place and have a little cash?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we went for the second option. So while you might have a really nice looking house, you're just so under
Sure.
debt.
And you
It
guys.
wasn't worth it.
And you guys, and not knowing anything, you probably have 200,000+ in equity sitting in your house
Probably.
right now.
Probably.
200,000.
Well, we did pull out a little for a recent renovation, so
Oh.
it probably isn't quite that much, but it's,
Okay, 150.
maybe it was close, yeah. Maybe it's back, I don't know. Maybe with the work we've done, it's already rebounded.
But here's the thing: is that the majority of homes out there right now, sitting there,
Mhm.
have the same kind of equity.
Hmm.
I'm coaching an individual in Sun Prairie, which like probably I'm not allowed to tell right now, but
Mhm.
that's okay. And I was saying, they were talking about going to the bank to get a loan. And I said, you don't need to go to the bank to get a loan. In fact, stay away from the bank. I said, why don't you be the bank and why don't you loan yourself the money for the business?
Mhm.
Well, what do you mean? So you've got over $150,000 in equity in your home. Why don't you pull out $50,000? Why don't you set up a line of credit that you can pull from, and then as your business grows, you pay yourself back with interest?
Mhm.
Well, what do you mean? I said, you pay off. You make your monthly payment, maybe another 6%, maybe another 10% or whatever, because you're only paying yourself.
Mhm.
And do you know that that was the hardest thing for them to grasp? They didn't understand that they're borrowing from themselves and paying themselves
Ah. Mhm.
with interest.
Mhm.
It only benefits them.
Right.
But yeah, our house is, it's going to be interesting in the next few years. We'll see. Right now, normally this market is about, so there's 34 homes listed on here actively.
Mhm.
Normally that's around 70 to 100. Because we've been in spring for a while. But as a former alder, I mean, in all the alders, I mean, I've talked to Stalker and Ice Burner and Terry Mackerel, President Terry.
President.
Yes,
Mhm.
very proud of her for getting that role. They're all in the same boat. They're like, well, what do we do?
Right.
What do we do? There's a combination.
Mhm.
We can do this. It's a combination. It's got not just one thing. It's not.
Right.
It's not giving a bunch of money away.
Mhm.
It's about government involvement, land leases, design, architectural design, a builder, developer to help out with this,
Mhm.
and then also education. Education's big.
Yeah.
If you put all those together, then we can do a more affordable housing for first-time home buyers. But anyway, all right. So you got me off on real estate. I'm sorry.
Right.
You're always distracting me. Darn it all! I tell you. Hey, here's what I want to ask you: is so your process is going well right now,
Yeah.
and you're going to break ground next spring
Yes.
in 2024.
Yep.
March,
May.
May of 2024. I am excited.
Yes.
Can't wait. I know the Media Center is working on their commitment. They kind of have a commitment. Would really like to have that sound booth, though.
Yeah.
That's like what, 25,000.
Yeah.
I've got to figure out how to get. I got to find somebody for that.
Mhm.
25,000. Get that done.
That'd be great.
Well, we just need to make sure money is in the budget, the city budget, asking for
Right.
that too for the Media Center.
Mhm.
You know, we need to make sure of that.
Definitely.
And Danelle Gay just came on. Hey, we just kind of pimped you a little bit about you and your book signing today, Miss Danelle Gay. So here's the thing I want to ask you is,
Yeah.
what's the average Joe that's sitting there listening right now? They're not a company, they don't have a lot of money, but what can they do to support the library?
There's a lot of different things that they can do.
Well, give them an idea. Tell them where to go.
First of all, well, you
You're
can
good at that.
give directly on our website, Sunlib Foundation /give. Is probably
Sunlib Foundation. Sunlibfoundation.org.
You can Venmo us at SPPLF.
Ooh,
You can come to some of these events, like the Gala.
yeah.
In September, we're doing a music. We've got bluegrass, barbecue, and brews. So buy your tickets. All proceeds go to the expansion project. So come out, have a good time, be entertained, and know that you're giving back.
When is that?
That's September 30th.
I just had Party in the Prairie.
Yep, Party in the Prairie, September 30th.
It's a booze night?
Blues, brews, bluegrass.
Oh my
All of the
gosh.
bees.
I like it.
And then we also have pledges. So if you need to extend something out over 5 years, if you want to stretch yourself to $1,000, you can pay that over 5 years. That works
Okay.
up to $18 a month.
Wow.
All of a sudden that feels very approachable, right? We're going to have amphitheater seats for sale. We're going to launch that here shortly after the gala. We're looking at some mosaic art. So there's different ways that are going to come up over the next few months yet where we can get your participation, you can give, and be a part of this.
What about endowments? What about inheritance?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what a great way
To
to leave a
honor.
legacy
Mhm.
for your grandkids and their grandkids and their grandkids.
Absolutely.
How do they do that? How does that happen?
They can call me. That's
Okay.
definitely a more
Call
likely
Theresa.
conversation.
Yeah.
That's worth sitting down and talking through how to do that. But I mean, we do donor advised funds. We can do. We have a lot of people do RMDs.
What's an RMD? I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm.
Really? Money? Distribution?
Retirement. Sorry, I'm blanking at the moment. Oh my gosh. Distribution. Minimal distribution. Sorry.
You know, I'm Googling. Required minimum
Required, there we go.
distribution. Required minimum distribution.
It's Monday morning, folks. Sorry, I've only had one cup of coffee so far.
Well, what's funny is I had to look it up. I know this
Yeah.
happens every year
I
because
know.
my dad has to take
Yes.
his RMD every
Every
year.
year.
And so Christmas time, it's wonderful. My
Right.
sister, he dumps
It's usually
cash.
around like between November and January.
Yeah.
For almost everybody, it seems. So that's one way. You can set that up. You can take that and distribute it in different ways.
Oh, wow.
And so, you know, you get your check and you can give portions out. So
Uh-huh.
that's how some of our donors do it, is we are one of several
Okay.
who will receive something.
Okay.
And you could do that, and knowing that you're going to have that over the next few years, you could give a little more, and
Sure.
we can honor you or recognize you within a space in the library, or
That would be cool. An
Yeah.
RMD wall.
yeah, well, I mean, we have different spaces, rooms in particular,
Sure.
that are a little higher,
Uh-huh.
but we still have some of those available, some study rooms, and the story time room. I'm still looking for a great donor or sponsor for the story time room. The room's going to be almost 3 times the size of the current one. It's
Wow.
a great opportunity
How much?
for a company out there.
What number did you put in that value?
250,000.
250.
Yes, because your name will be there for the next 25 years.
Okay.
So think about 25 years of advertising, basically.
Well, you would think like somebody like American Family. I mean, if they're going to spend that much money on a baseball diamond, why don't they just throw 250 over here, which really supports the community in an area that they're based out of. I mean, they may have a Madison address, but everybody lives in Sun Prairie that works.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hamilton, Coach Rob Hamilton's wife, you know, those people. We know people. We know people that work there. We should work on that.
Mhm.
250.
Mhm.
250. So they could give that over 25 years.
Well, they could give that over 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But the naming opportunity is there for 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good.
Have you talked to those folks?
Some, they're reworking how they're doing their giving
Oh.
as the whole organization.
Uh-huh.
So we did apply through the Steve Stricker Foundation last year, which is
Sure.
really assisted by American Family, and we got $3,000 for a story walk that will go
Yeah.
on the patio of the expansion. So,
But that's Stricker's Foundation. That's
Right.
based out of the golf outing.
right.
Yeah. So to be
So we've been waiting, really, as they rework
Oh, yeah.
all of their requirements and applications.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and to be transparent on this, I'm actually involved with the Library Foundation in the, I don't know what you call it, the business portion of it? or-
We're the leadership committee now.
That's what we call it,
Yeah.
the leadership committee. I am on the leadership committee for the Library Foundation. I'm having a blast, by the way, with
Good.
that. It's fun.
It is fun.
I've always felt that, in fact, my buddy Scott Homerson says that I'm a connector.
Hmm.
I like to connect people, and I do. It fills my
And
heart.
we've had fun.
We have, haven't
Getting
we?
connected, yeah.
I know, right?
We've had some good ones.
We've had. We're not done yet.
We're not done. There's a lot more to go yet. So we need 2 million yet. That's where we're at.
And we'll find it.
We will get there.
We'll get that. Hey, you gotta be out of here. What time? 8:15.
Yeah.
Hey, so can we? Do you mind? And folks, if you don't mind, I want to talk about. It's going to be a serious conversation, but it's it's going to be a serious conversation. It's not meant to offend anybody. There's no judgment on this. I just want to talk about it. And we know what's happened in recently. Now, let me tell you how I found out about it. It was on WHAS in Louisville, Kentucky. We made national news. It was on the national news, or local news down in Louisville, Kentucky, talking about the event that occurred at the high school with the 4 young ladies, the freshmen, 14 years old, I think that's how old they are, and that a person, oh my God, see, I get myself in trouble all the time. A male entered the locker room while these young ladies were showering. They happened to be in their swimsuits still. They just come out of PE. That's physical education for us, for the young people out there. For us, it's called, us old people, gym. But they were in the pool. They had an exercise to come in. They're rinsing off, getting the chlorine off of them, which is very little in our pools, by the way, because we're a salt-based a pool section. So they were in there in the shower. A male walks in. An individual walks in who identifies as transgender. He announces that he's transgender. He walks into the shower, and then he showers with the young ladies in the same area, and turns, and they see his male genitalia. So that has become an issue in how the school district handled it or didn't handle it. There's a lot of information out there, misinformation out of there, and that was a point that you wanted to make, is that we don't have the clear information on this.
Right.
It's just, what did you say, the 3 sides?
There's 3 sides to every story. It's theirs, yours, and the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And right now we've gotten one perspective,
Sure.
one side, and we did, as parents, I don't know if you received this as well, but as parents we received an email from the district on Saturday, I believe it was,
Okay.
that just addressed the fact that yes, we were in the media. This happened over a month ago already. The school district has already taken steps to address it, and what's out there is maybe a little extrapolated and overblown from what really happened.
Word.
And so, but because of all of their different policies and laws around privacy,
Sure.
they can't actually tell us a whole heck of a lot of what actually happened.
Sure.
That's to protect both the young women. Well, it's there to protect all of the students, and that's what they all are. All 5 of them are students, regardless of their age. They are first and foremost students at the district, and so I know this is kind of a newer thing for a lot of people, is to talk about transgender.
Yes.
And to understand what that means, and how to manage situations like this.
Sure.
And I know you wanted to talk about Title IX, and you know, it's interesting. For so long we've just been in a patriarchal society. It has been very male dominated, and I think history is
Oh, absolutely.
enough to show us that.
Oh yeah. You're lucky you have the right to vote.
I know, right? Praise be. And that's just it. Is all of this? Women are still working to try to get to various levels of equality as well, in all sorts of different areas. And now we're talking about transgender, and what does that mean?
Sure.
And there's a whole spectrum. And for a lot of people, they still are struggling with, well, no, you're male or female.
Right.
And because our bodies come in basically 2 different shapes.
Sure.
And we're assigned those upon birth.
Right.
So I would go back to, we've always run across women who look a little mannish.
Oh yeah.
And men who look a little more feminine.
Yeah.
And I think there's a whole spectrum out there.
Sure.
But we're still learning.
Right.
And I think that's the important thing, is to remain open-minded and curious.
Okay.
And as we talk about like pronouns, that's another one. It drives some people absolutely crazy.
Right.
And others are like, no, this is what I prefer. And it's like, how do you do they?
Sure.
You know, that logically, if you were went through elementary school in like the last 20, 30 years. It was he, she,
Yeah.
and then they was more than one. And so it's changing our vocabulary and updating and making sure that we're being inclusive. So there's a lot there. I don't know how deep you wanted to go.
No,
but
no, I mean,
think
but
remaining open-minded and curious and not just in attack mode because you heard a story on the news. Check your news sources.
yeah.
Make sure you're getting all three sides.
Here's what I want to ask you.
Mhm.
You've got 2 daughters,
I do.
Anna and Julia.
Yep.
How would you react if, I mean, and Anna's 13?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's almost a freshman.
Hmm.
What if she were in that circumstance and the guy turns around and the person turns around and has male genitalia?
Well, it would be a conversation for sure. It would be a series of conversations first to make sure
Okay.
that she's okay after.
After what's your initial gut
Yeah.
feeling though? I mean, I would be beside myself.
I guess I would have a lot of questions like how did it happen? Why did it happen? How is this gonna, be prevented in the future?
Oh,
I think there's a very easy solution here.
what's that?
Shower curtains.
Oh my gosh.
Why do we have wide open shower walls?
Oh my
I
God,
mean,
we've
and
had that for
especially
years.
you're talking about
Forever.
young women,
Yeah.
and frankly, our bodies all mature at different rates. So you got freshmen and then seniors, like, and I don't know how the gym classes are even structured, but not everyone is comfortable
That's
showing
true.
all their bits. So I think just something very simple
Yeah.
of allowing a little privacy for all students,
Sure.
regardless of
Yeah.
how they identify, could go a long ways in this fix.
My first feeling, well, first, as a father, I have ugly, hairy-legged boys. I mean, I love my boys, and they're not ugly, but that's the way I always describe them: ugly, hairy-legged boys. Because when you ask them the question, they go, "What? What?" I didn't do anything. Of course you did.
Wasn't me.
You just have to be there. But if I had 2 girls,
Mhm.
and I heard this,
Mhm.
I would be beside myself. Now, I'm not an angry person. I don't get like that, but I might be. My question is, where's Mike Steffes? Where's the Sunbury Police? If this person is 18 years old,
Mhm.
I don't care how he identifies. I mean, are we supposed to put a sign around our neck? Trans or male, female? Are we supposed to put it, engrave it into our foreheads or something like that? And just because I say it doesn't make it true. I mean, so could I be a black female lesbian? Because I say it, it's okay?
It'd be hard to pull that one off.
Hey, I have pigment issues. Our president is watching us right now.
Good.
Good morning, Madam President.
So, who's to say he
Oh, wow.
hasn't been involved?
Matt Paskey, I am sorry. This is not a conversation. This is a sexual assault on minors. A penis is a penis no matter how an adult identifies. This is not okay, especially in our schools. Matt, I'm with you. I agree with you on that. Again, I'm not judging. If somebody wants to be transgender, be transgender.
Mhm.
Be careful how you're transgender, because you still. I mean, if you're not transgender, you can offend people. And
Sure.
I don't even know. I'm trying. Look at
So
me.
I think
Did you
the
see
whole
me?
thing
I'm
is like,
tripping over my
you are.
words.
There is a plan in place. Unfortunately,
You're back to the high school.
Yeah, the plan was.
I'm out of that high school. I'm just talking about anywhere. It could be Prairie Athletic Club.
Could be,
Oh my gosh.
but they have dividers. They have shower curtains. You could be.
We do?
Uh-huh.
No, we don't. Not in the men's locker room.
Oh, well.
No, we're.
So
We're just hanging out.
how offended would you be then if a woman was in there?
Not one bit.
So why is it different?
I would probably be embarrassed and I'd turn around.
And that might have been what happened there too at the high school.
Well, supposedly. I mean, it's different. It's different from male and female. If you know.
But why?
I'm just, so you know, I'm being
See?
sexist, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm discriminating.
I am. Yep.
Sunshine Anderson says, it's less about the individual and more about the environment provided for students.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I get that. Yeah. So let's talk about Title IX for a minute.
Okay.
Because I know you're running out of time. And so Title IX, if you're not aware of it, is a federal civil rights law that prohibits sex-based discrimination in any school or any other education program, which this situation, the situation falls under Title IX. You're supposed to have a Title IX representative in every school. So when a situation occurs, the student can come to that person, or they're directed to that person to handle the situation.
Okay.
Here's what I want to talk about: is how do you have an opinion? And if you don't, that's okay. I was a swimmer. I swam through college. The whole thing. I know how hard it is to train and all that, and I was not Olympic quality. Let's put it that way. But I had fun. School was taken care of. That was all cool. You know, recently we've seen in the news where a gentleman he's making that transition to a woman. He's swimming for the University of Pennsylvania, and he's in the NCAA's and just kicking. He's doing a great job. And my thing is that I am so concerned about this, where there will be people out there that will take advantage of this entire process of converting from male to female just to get a scholarship.
That's a lot to go through for a scholarship.
Oh, people go through less to do crap. I mean, but we talked about in the opening on this. So you're a volleyball player, right? Well, okay, now you've got a 6'8" male that's decided that I am now transitioning, and he wants to play volleyball. In fact, there are 8 of them that want to play volleyball.
Okay.
We have to have a Labaro, so we'll make that one a lady. No, I'm sorry. Somebody who identifies as a woman at 5'8". But you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, and
Basketball
I know that's been out there too, about people taking advantage of it. The thing is, I think when people are taking hormones, they're changing their physical body. There's a whole lot more happening than just trying to get a scholarship or trying to remain competitive. That's such a huge commitment to change your body to another gender, another sex. Sorry.
Should they whack it off?
That's a very personal decision.
Well,
There's no way I can say yes or no.
I mean, he was the swimmer from Pennsylvania, University of Pennsylvania. I can't remember the lady's name. I apologize. Was ranked over 300 in men for NCAA, and now he's in the top. Now he's in the top 20 for female.
I mean, you look at. We have some very tall volleyball players who've come through UW. Dina Radke.
Oh yeah.
She's still taller than that. she could kick his butt any day.
Absolutely.
So, I know there's going to be some examples out there.
Yeah.
But it's still such a small number.
And
I think in some ways when we talk about sports, pushing us to be more competitive, making us better, making us stronger. That's okay. It's good. It's forcing us to rise up.
Physically, though, I think there's always going to be an advantage.
There's going to be advantages.
And I'm disappointed that the NCAA is supporting this.
But where would they play? Because we still got to offer those opportunities. We have to offer those equal opportunities.
Right. We do?
Yeah.
Okay.
We do.
So we set up a separate league. I don't know. I feel that if you have a certain genitalia, that's what you should partake in. I'm just concerned how it affects ladies. The safety. I know there's wackos out there. I don't know if you've seen lately.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of wackos. They do stupid stuff. Our world.
Wackos.
Our world is full of wackos.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Sunshine, it's a great question. By the way, folks on radio, Sunshine Anderson says this. There's two comments. The first one is they're on estrogen at that point, which affects muscle and fat distribution. And then her next comment is, Bill, have you hosted any transgender individuals to discuss this? I thought it was about the library gala. The library gala was part of it, Sunshine, but there was other subjects. Theresa is here to. She's involved in half the show or whatever, but I wanted her opinion on this, and but thank you for your comments. And I did think about that in the planning of this, and I'm going to need help with that because I don't get this. I don't think I know anybody.
You do.
I do. Well, okay, but see, I'm blind to it. I just see the person.
That's what we need to do.
Right.
We just need to see the person.
And so that was, I'm sitting.
We're all people, right?
Yes.
Regardless
Right.
of how we are identifying, we are all people. We all have feelings.
Sure.
We all want to be
Exactly.
involved and engaged and accepted and loved.
Exactly.
So
I would love to have this
how do we
conversation.
do that? Yeah.
You can help me with this?
I can't. I should not be speaking for the trans community, but there are wonderful people right here in our community who I bet would love to have this conversation and who would do it much better justice than I have today.
Sunshine, I'd love to have you on the show. She goes, hello, I'm transgender. Seeing the person is right on. That's like when people talk about people of color. I see the people for who they are. I don't see them for their color. I don't care if you're black, white, red, purple, pink, or striped. And I'm just being naive. I was told I'm being naive. But Sunshine, I'd love to have you on the show next Monday. Next Monday. Yes, next Monday. Next Monday's allowed. I'm okay with that. And because I'm sensitive to this, I want to understand it. As you said to it, and you and I have shared this, I seek to understand by staying in curiosity. Yeah, I don't have a judgment on it. Really, I have an opinion, but I don't have a judgment. And again, I personally...
And I'm still learning a lot myself, so that's why I really don't feel like I can say a whole lot, because I'm still learning too.
Yeah, but I can see the abuse coming. I can see people abusing it. And if I can lose weight by taking a little bit more estrogen, I will. Actually, at 61, I'm trying to take more
I don't think it helps you
testosterone.
lose weight.
What?
It doesn't. I don't think
It
helps.
doesn't?
No. That's why women who are going through menopause
Yeah,
are gaining a lot of weight.
they are?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Cool, Sunshine. Thanks. That would be awesome. That would be an awesome conversation.
It would be. It would be great for the whole community.
Yeah, I think so too. We'll do that. All right, Sunshine, you are a superstar, and thanks. So there's a lot of things in there. I mean, it's
There is.
about my concern is the. I was going to say the female programs, and that's not even correct. It's
No.
the woman
Yes. The women's programs.
or should it be the women's or the people that identify as women's program? Basketball program.
Basketball.
Oh my gosh. Women's basketball program. Women's volleyball program. Okay. Sunshine, you got to help me for this. We're going to have to work on that. And I'd usually make you gain weight. It usually makes you gain weight. Okay. I don't need to gain more weight. I'm trying to dig it all off.
Right.
So I think we've exhausted this for now. And I'll put it on. If you want to come back, be here for this. I mean, you're welcome to do that for next Monday.
Okay.
If you want. If you don't, that's okay.
All right.
Okay. Sunshine, I'll be watching for your email. Hey, I wanted to say, no, I don't. I'm not going to transition to that because you'll be like, did you really just do that? Yeah, we're talking about the Library Foundation and what's going on there. We're going to take a quick little break, and I'm going to reset the show, and then maybe we'll talk about crash test dummies. Hang in there, folks. Thanks, Buck. Sunshine, you're super.
Thank you for volunteering, Sunshine.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. I appreciate that. I've been told, I've been criticized for that I'm naive or something like that. I think, wow.
We're just learning.
Yeah, when I said, actually I was in a men's group down in Milwaukee, and the speaker was a black gentleman that's black, and he says, for you white guys out there saying that you don't see color, you do see color. You're recognizing it. Thanks, Lisa. Lisa Wolf. Man, she was just here last week. I'm glad to have her on the air, and I really appreciate that. She's always welcome to be here. Hey, author visit and book signing. Meet Sun Prairie resident and author Danelle Gay to discuss her new book. Oh, sorry, I'll turn you back on. There you go.
Thanks.
Her new book, 100 Things to Do in Wisconsin Before You Die, during the free author visit and book signing, with book sale proceeds benefiting the Sun Prairie Library Expansion Project. That happens tonight at 5 to 7 p.m. Guess where? Yep, you're right, the library. Come on by and see Danelle, and also ask her about her TV show that she's doing. I think she has 17 shows in the can. She's editing them right now. Hey, the Sun Prairie West Job Fair, the student-only job fair, open only to West and Prairie Phoenix. Why is it open to West? Oh, West and Prairie Phoenix Academy High School students, and features 50 recruiting companies, nonprofits, and more than, I can't even read. I should put my glasses on. You know?
It helps.
I know, the words just run together. Let's try this again. Hey, the student-only job fair, open only to West and Prairie Phoenix Academy High School students, and features 50 recruiting companies, nonprofits, and more, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Wednesday, April 26th, at Sun Prairie West High School over at 2850 Ironwood Drive. If you don't know where that is, it's the big building sitting over there. Don't forget the Sun Prairie Library Gala, the annual Sun Prairie Public Library Gala, has a Kentucky Derby theme this year. Come in your biggest hat and bow ties to the gala, and set to begin at 5:30 on Saturday, April 29th, my son's birthday, by the way, at the Pavilion at Angel Park. That's a great place to have this, by the way. See the Library Foundation Facebook page for more information about that. Sun Prairie Flute Choir Concert. Flute performers from Sun Prairie's high school and middle schools will include works by Ricky Lombardo, Francois Joseph Gosek, Grant Horsley, Ron Korb, Phyllis, Luke, and Jay Unger from 7 to 10 p.m. on Wednesday, May 3rd, in the small theater at Sun Prairie West High School. See the Sun Prairie Band's Facebook page for more details. It's that time again, citywide garage sales. Steve Stocker's going crazy right now, I know he is. The annual tradition returns Thursday, May 4th through Saturday, May 6th throughout Sun Prairie. See Steve Stocker's Facebook page or pick up a map at the Quick Trip at 1252 West Main Street for more details. Wine Walk, yep, Star Wars edition. This is going to be a fun. Pew, pew, pew. Luke, I am your father. Use the Force to take you on this tour of downtown Sun Prairie businesses and enjoy wine and food samples during the event with a Star Wars theme, because it's happening Thursday, May 4th, beginning at 5 p.m. See the Downtown Sun Prairie Facebook page for more details. This will sell out. Get your tickets, get your registration today. Believe me, I know it gets sold out because Terry got in last time, but I did not.
Oh.
So I just grabbed a glass and tagged along. I did a Bill thing. I know. The ladies at Bank of Sun Prairie are like, Bill. Hey, the Sun Prairie Farmers Market's opening day on Saturday, May 6th. I'll be down there. Shoppers will enjoy vendor specials and special promotions at the market held in downtown Sun Prairie's Cannery Square. See the Sun Prairie Farmers Market Facebook page for details. And again, you'll see us at 103.5. I'll be right at the corner, and can't wait. Stop by and see me. It's going to be a lot of fun. The 5th Annual Beam Awards congratulate Black Excellence Achievement Makers by attending this event at 2 p.m. on Sunday, May 7th at the Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium at Ashley Field. See the Beam Awards Sun Prairie Facebook page for more details. Poetry discussions, an intimate and open discussion with Wisconsin poet Carrie Vogue Schonhoff about her book, The End of the Beginning, featuring poems about the importance of healing, moving on, and being ready to face a new beginning. Takes place from 6 to 7 p.m. on Monday, May 8th at where? Our favorite place, the Sun Prairie Public Library. Registration is required. Go to the Sun Prairie Library website at sunprairiemarket.com/event. Just go to the library page and you can register there.
It's under the calendar, quick
Yeah.
calendar events.
Yeah. I don't know why they put that. I mean, people would be going, what you'd have to replay this back and forth like 10 times before they would even know what I just said. And thank God for Facebook, or we wouldn't know anything. You know? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay, I got you for about another 7 minutes, so it's going to be fun. So again, hey, don't forget about the Spring Gala, the Kentucky Derby. It's happening this Saturday. I'll be there. Teresa will be there.
I'll be there.
So get a hat and come. If
Yes.
you don't have a hat, come anyway.
Yes.
The attire is Kentucky Derby attire.
Yeah.
Which I love how you say that.
Think spring.
Well, people don't understand that.
Right.
I do. I am. I have. And I probably will do later in life again. I've been in the infield. I've been in the box. It's a blast. I have like probably 50 Kentucky Derby glasses.
Wow.
Each year has a different theme about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the one with the three-legged horse.
Oh.
So that glass alone is a $125 glass.
Wow.
You get that glass when you order a mint julep, and they're collectors. And so I have those. I have some from my mom and from my grandmother. So that's why I have so many.
Nice.
But it's a great time. So you got to come down. It's a great cause. There's great things. And if you want to, if you go to the Sun Prairie Library Foundation Facebook page, you don't even have to be there to get in on the bidding of what's happening. And it started already.
Yes.
So get in there. There's some great things that you could be bidding on and winning. And all of those dollars go towards to the foundation for the expansion.
Yes.
Right?
And in the month of April, they're double. They're matched.
How about that? Dig that, would you? We got somebody that's going to double them. So can you please get out there? Come on, get it on.
Giddy up. Let's go.
I got... don't you go to the whip on me, girl. Hey, so I was driving. I went to Kentucky this past weekend. I left on Thursday and came back Sunday. And I went down to see my dad. I'm a Kentucky kid. I was born there. I did not grow up there. Wisconsin is my home. I've been here 30 years. I'm 61 years old. This is home.
Sure.
This is my home. And I tell everybody, I love this town. I love me some Sun Prairie.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody called me, and I've heard it more than once, Mr. Sun Prairie. I'm like, oh my gosh, to wear that badge, you better be, I don't know what.
I don't know either.
I get called the mayor all the time. I'm like, don't confuse me. He's taller than I am.
He is tall.
I love when he comes and goes, Bill, how are you? I mean, he's got that voice that just carries. He's awesome. So when I was going to Kentucky, you get a lot of, I drive, by the way. It takes 7 hours. And by the way, I have figured out driving is the best way to do it. You can fly. Guess what? It's about a 30-minute difference. Because you have to connect. There are no direct flights out of Madison to Kentucky. Or you have to drive to Chicago, get on the plane, and fly to Kentucky. Then you got to rent a car. Well, I drive my truck, and big truck, little car, get out of my way. That's for the rest of the show. We'll talk about that. But so part of this conversation, when I was listening on the radio, which I do, flipping channels, I might be listening to podcasts, which I do. I love TED Talks, and so the subject came up about crash test dummies and how the Secretary of Transportation, Secretary Pete, is asking Congress for $20 million in his department's proposed fiscal year 2024 to develop female crash test dummies. And, where'd that go? Wow, that's pretty cool when you can double your voice. I didn't know that happened. I didn't know I could do that. So I wanted you to hear this. This is what kills me. I went, what are we talking about? So there's a lady, it's Representative Rosa DeLario from Connecticut. She was testifying to Congress, and she stressed the important need of female dummies in car crash testing in a congressional hearing. So you got to hear this. You ready?
To you about of the use of female dummies in crash testing. This will start to fight the gender inequity among vehicle safety and crash victims.
Okay, is it me? Gender really? Really? You're looking at me like I'm crazy, but I mean...
I am, because I just have so many questions. You know, we do have different body structures, and so are we talking about the height, the weight, how the seatbelt goes across our chest, because that's a whole other animal that I don't think we have time to get into today. But I mean, at what point and how developed are these dummies going to be, and then I guess, are we also talking about those who are pregnant? You know, with the lap belt and how that can impact someone. So I have a lot more questions than answers on this, other than,
Wait.
huh.
Wait.
20 million seems like a lot.
I know. Wait, hang on. One more time. Wait, listen to this.
We also plan to make important investments to address the roadway safety crisis, including the critical funding that would accelerate the development, and this is an area I've written to you about, of the use of female dummies in crash testing. This will start to fight the gender inequity.
Gender inequity? Gender inequity? Are crash test dummies filing complaints? Has a crash test dummy raised its hand and said, "Hey"?
Athletes, and how advancing the...
I don't think so.
Oh my God.
Bring me back.
So here's the thing: is that get this. The dimensions, the stature of this crash test dummy that they want to do is 4 feet 11 inches, 108 pounds. They have not been to Wisconsin.
No.
They haven't been to Iowa.
You know, I'm thinking about it. Even my almost 10-year-old is
Yeah.
larger than those. She's taller than that.
Yeah.
She weighs more than that.
Right.
So I don't know who this design is for. If it's for the teenagers, but that's not your average woman.
No, not in Wisconsin.
Well, I don't think anywhere, but especially in Wisconsin.
Exactly. I mean, but this was just crazy. They took up time and effort, and they're drafting this for. This is like the biggest waste of money there ever was. If you have a
I've heard of more. This is right.
Oh, you mean like the logo that we just did in the city of Sun Prairie for $95,000? Oh, well, we didn't. That didn't come out of the budget. No, well, no, it came out of transportation dollars or tourism dollars that could have been used for something else, like maybe getting more people to come to Sun Prairie. Oh my God, the logo! What a waste! What a waste! And then it got shoved down our throats. Anyway. So, yeah, waste of money. $20 million! $20 million! You know how many houses we could...
Build for that?
Yeah, and how we could help people into housing for that? Oh my gosh. But it was just comical to hear this. First of all, if you have to go on Google, and you got to Google it, okay? Crash test dummy testifying or...
Testimony?
Testimony, thank you. Yeah, see, I get all fired up about this. Or gender inequity.
Well, that's going to give you something else on a Google
Well, no,
search.
crash test dummy.
Okay.
Yeah. But and you got to check her out. I mean, she's from Connecticut, right?
Yep.
Yeah, purple hair.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing wrong with good purple hair. I kind of like purple hair, but it just fits with her. I don't know why in this whole thing. And I would like to interview a crash test dummy that's complaining about the inequities of crash testing.
There's more to the story for sure. There's got to be about
come on.
like how.
I couldn't find it.
how results might be different.
They got baby crash test dummies. They got
Right.
chillins.
I know that they do different weights.
They do different weights. What are you gonna do? Put breastises on a crash test dummy
I don't know.
or other
Yeah.
parts? Well, you
Yeah.
don't have to put any other parts on there.
Yeah.
I get it.
I'm just curious.
$20
Yeah. What is it
million.
aiming to improve?
$20 million.
Hmm.
Is this crazy?
It is.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
where I'm staying curious. It's like, there's got to be more
Oh
to
man,
this.
you're using my term on me, you know?
Well,
$20 million.
I'm a fan of Ted Lasso.
Oh yeah.
Stay curious, not judgmental.
Oh man, I've never seen that show.
So good.
Well, it's on HBO or on Apple.
Apple.
I don't have Apple, and I ain't paying Apple to go see it.
That's the worst paid Apple.
I got HBO Max. I got I
Yeah.
got
You
Prime.
cancel one for like a month and get Apple TV, binge it, and then you can go back to your HBO.
Okay. All right. The one I'm binging right now is Designated Survivor.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's a good
See, I
one.
don't have HBO. I have Apple TV.
That's Netflix.
Oh, okay.
This is Netflix.
I do have Netflix.
Okay. If not, I'll give you my password.
Okay. Yeah, they're huge fans of that.
Right, I know, right? Yeah. I binged West Wing.
Okay.
All 7 years of it or something like that.
That's
That
a
was
lot.
Yeah. They were talking back then about things we keep talking about today.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, politics. I know you is one, or you was one. You'll be back in it though.
Probably.
I know you will.
It'll be hard to stay away.
Don't run against me though, okay? Because I don't
Okay.
want to lose.
Okay.
All right. But it's interesting how back then
Hmm.
the same subjects that we're talking about today, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because we haven't solved a whole lot.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, crash test dummies.
All right.
If you take a car and you're going 50 miles an hour and you run into a wall, you might crack your head. I'm just saying. I don't care how fast those airbags come. Okay, the airbag's going to hurt you anyway.
It is. Yeah.
Don't be wearing glasses.
Yeah.
It's shoved into your face.
Yep.
Can't see anymore, but you're alive.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. Crash test dummies.
Have you ever had an airbag go off?
Negative.
I have.
You have?
Uh-huh.
Why?
I was speeding and I hit a deer.
Oh, you hit a deer?
Oh yeah.
You weren't speeding. You were just going at an accurate speed.
I was speeding that
You hit
day.
a deer. I've never
Yeah.
done that.
Oh yeah.
Knocked on
Mhm.
plywood or whatever that is, pressed wood.
Yep. Totaled my mom's car.
Oh, you were
I
a
was-
kid?
Yeah, I was. I was 16.
Wow.
I begged my mom to take our car to school because we had volleyball practice, and this was the Friday going into Labor Day weekend. And my parents owned a bar and restaurant.
Right?
Friday night, fish fry, huge, last summer hurrah.
Uh-huh.
I begged and begged to be able to go to volleyball practice because we had a game the following Tuesday, and if you weren't at that practice, you weren't going to play. So my mom let me. She said, you have to leave practice early though. You got to leave by 4:30. We need you here at 5.
Okay.
I did not leave school on time. I stayed for the whole practice.
Troublemaker.
And then I was racing. I was speeding. I was going faster than I should have been. Down County G, right past the dump, and a deer. The sun was right at that blinding spot.
Didn't see it.
Didn't see it. Just leapt out of nowhere, and I at first thought maybe I hit a person, because it was so big. And,
Wow.
And both airbags went off, and it shook me up for a while. It took me a little while to get back behind the steering wheel.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
totaled the car. Mom was mad.
Oh, I guess you would have been.
Dad saw the car, so he was more thankful that I was alive.
Yeah.
Mom was just pissed.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
Until she saw the car, and then she was still mad and also like, oh, this was bad.
I think that we have to teach those deer better.
Yeah.
We put a damn sign out.
Right.
We put a sign out that
You gotta
says deer
cross
crossing.
the sign, right?
Get out there and cross where you're frickin' supposed to cross.
Don't
Give
go
'em
jumping in front of cars.
Yeah,
Come
don't be
on.
jumping in front of cars. We need you for deer hunting,
That's right.
not for car hunting.
Yeah, I've killed way more deer driving than hunting.
Yeah. Hey, I know you got to get out of
I
here.
do.
The girls, are they doing soapbox derby?
Pinewood Derby.
Pinewood derby.
Yeah.
Not soap. So
Yeah.
Pinewood
That's
derby.
usually in the
That's right about
winter.
now, isn't it? Oh,
No,
I thought it was
no,
right
it happened
now.
already. No, it was like February.
I just saw
June.
something about this.
No, the TV station here, they covered it.
Okay. Well, maybe
Anna and
someplace
Julie,
else.
actually, they both helped on cameras, and they both had cars racing it.
Oh, they did?
So yeah, Julia's troop pack, Cub Scout pack,
Uh-huh.
they were hosting it. She got to do it, and then they let siblings participate this year, and so Anna built one too,
Oh,
just
cool.
for fun, because she came in after Cub Scouts.
Okay.
She's just in Scouts BSA.
Uh-huh.
So she never got the opportunity, and this year she's like, I actually want to try doing that. So they both did it, and then they both helped run cameras for that event too.
So, did they build the cars themselves with their kits, or?
Mostly, yes.
Okay.
So they had to design it.
Uh-huh.
They had to draw on it how they wanted it cut.
Uh-huh.
Jonathan did do the cutting. He
Okay.
managed the saw for them.
You let him use power tools?
I do.
Okay.
He's very good at
All
them.
right, just checking.
And then they had to sand it.
Okay.
They had to paint it.
All right.
I think the only other part he might have helped a little bit was with the wheels.
Okay.
Making sure that they were actually tacked on
All right.
well.
Cool.
But yeah, they had to do
All right.
most of it themselves. Neither one won.
Yeah.
But they had fun.
Okay.
Julia won a sportsmanship award.
She did?
Yeah, for cheering for everybody.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
She looked sad when hers raced, and I was like, I signaled to her, smile, like, it's okay. It's gonna be okay.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. You gotta get out of here.
I do.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for
being
having
here.
me.
Can't wait to see you on Saturday.
Yes, come, get
I'll
your
be there.
tickets. If you don't have them, get them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be a great time.
Absolutely. I'll be there. You're going to be there.
I'm gonna be
Anybody
there.
that's anybody's going to be there.
Yes.
So come on in. The Vittles will be fantastic. The
Yeah.
mint juleps will be there.
Mint juleps are gonna
You
be
got to
good.
try a mint julep.
Yes.
You
Rod
have to.
Ellenbecker is playing. So Rod,
Okay.
his day job is at Bank of Sun Prairie.
Yeah.
On Grand Ave. He's our musician.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was a musician. First of
Yeah.
all,
You know, he used to tour with,
Springsteen,
I don't think it was Springsteen.
No, it wasn't.
White.
Whitesnake,
No, there's another one.
Barry White. Sounds like could be
It was a Wisconsin group.
REO.
You know that 70s show? Keep Trick, that's it.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and he was on that Ed
70s
McMahon
show.
show, Star Search.
Yeah.
He was on Star Search once upon a time. I would love to find that clip.
All right. Well,
I want nothing more than to find that clip. But he was with a group called The Boys in White.
Uh-huh.
And that's where he kind of got his music start.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So he's been gigging for a long time. He's traveled. He's got a lot of really cool
I
rock
can't wait.
and roll stories.
Can't wait to hear him
I can't
play.
wait to hear him play. We've got great food by Salvatore's. We have wine pull, flavors, and cannery wine. And wine styles, all of them. Like, we've got great experiences,
Sweet.
great silent auction items. We've got a couple trips this year, so
Awesome.
just so much. And all of it, again, goes to benefit the library and the expansion project. We've got the match going on,
Sure.
so every single cent that's given in April up to $25,000 is going to be matched, and we want to hit that.
So how much are you hoping to raise off this?
We would like to be at 40,000 at the end
40,000?
of the gala.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool to get a match off that?
It would be. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be great if, and it could happen. Someone who attends the gala is
Sure.
inspired. They want to give a little more and have that matched. Let's talk about that. We can do that.
Who's emceeing it?
Dan Presser.
Dan Presser
Dan
over
Presser
me?
is
Oh
emceeing.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, he is a professional. I will give him that credit.
We haven't had him before.
Never had me.
No?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
No.
Well,
Sunshine.
Mine?
No, they took Lisa one year and said to me, I'm like, wow,
Oh.
I'm getting a complex over here,
Right.
you know? Mr. Sun Prairie, remember? Okay.
all right.
I love that title. I think that's hilarious. Hey, thanks again.
Thank you.
Teresa Stevens, Executive Director for the Sun Prairie Library Foundation. To learn more about the gala, you can go to the Sun Prairie Foundation Facebook page, or you can go to sunlibfoundation.org, sunlib, L-I-B, foundation.org, and get that information. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
And thanks for all you do.
Thank you, Bill.
You
Have
are
a good day.
absolutely amazing. So I'm going to reset the show. I want me some Bachman Turner Overdrive, and that is what we're going to do right here on 103.5 WLSP. Good morning, everybody. Gotta turn that off. That's blasting. Woo! Nice job.
Thank you. Thanks. As always, this fun.
I think I might forward that email string to you later.
Okay.
We're on Facebook. We have to get that expansion stuff in the budget. How do we do that? Do I call Sandy or Aaron, or am I overstepping, or?
This afternoon.
Okay, cool.
I'm free after 1:30.
Okay, I'll be around.
Okay.
Okay, just call me.
I'll just call you then.
Okay.
Yeah. So I gotta think through. I don't think it's overstepping. I'm trying to think exactly how we can do it so it looks like we've done both paths.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I was gonna say.
See ya. I will. Hey, Facebook. One of my favorite people to bring on to the show is Theresa. She is just full of information, and I like the yin and yang kind of thing that we get to do. So, yeah, it's just it's fun, I think. But and what's I think really cool about her is she's really committed to the community. She is on my board for the Friends of the Prairie Media Center. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'll put that up there. There we go. If you are you're on Facebook right now and you're watching this, I want you to be aware that you can't hear the music on Facebook because Meta doesn't believe that we're a radio station, and so they shut down the show. They will absolutely just kill it, and so then, and actually after the show sometimes I have to go back and fight for it, and it's just crazy. So if you want to hear the music, you can go to 103.5, to the station 103.5 on your radio, or go to Prairie Media Center, sunprairiemediacenter.com, and go to the radio and stream the show live. So, yeah, it's just something that they do, and that's okay. That's all right. But it's frustrating as hell, I'll tell you that. Bachman Turner Overdrive right here on 103.5 WLSP, the Sun, home of Station of the Year. Yeah, we got about another month to go for that. We spent the last 12 months celebrating that. We were chosen in the big market. Uh-oh, what was that? Oh, somebody's calling. It's a scam call. We were picked in the large markets which means JJO, WIBA, Triple M. So we went up against those, 106.5 or whatever it is, Q, the country, and all that. We beat those guys. We beat them, and it's because of content and a lot of different things. But we beat them. So Station of the Year, I'm very proud of that. Proud to be one of the producers. I'm also a sponsor. I'm also a supporter financially of the organization, other than sponsorship. Yes, I pay for sponsorship, but I also make donations. So I really believe in our community radio and what it's about and what it means to you, Sun Prairie, and our city to be able to broadcast things like city council meetings or school board meetings or special committee meetings, our athletic programs, our event programs, graduations, and then I'll give you a variety of radio shows that are happening every day right here. Mark Madness, myself, you've got, I'm spacing on it right now, but you've got a variety of different shows that come into your radio every single day. All of that is put on by volunteer producers, and we write, direct, and produce our own shows. So it's to me, it's a lot of fun. Excuse me, a lot of fun. I've been doing it now for 7 years as a volunteer, and can't just say enough nice things about this. Not every community has this opportunity. Not every community has what we have here, and it's because of your generosity and your giving, your sharing of your dollars that really make this what it is. And so to all of our sponsors out there, coming from my heart, the Baker Realty Group, Bank of Sun Prairie, a variety of other people that take part in our baseball, football, basketball, all the different events. Thank you very much, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. Now, if you got kiddos, if you got grandchiddens, yep, they need to be here and be part of the Kids 4 program, because this summer we have classes, basically kind of like a camp thing, where they can learn how to write, produce, direct TV, radio, photography, videography. They put their own shows together, and that's why Kids 4 is such a hit. Don't forget that we've added our third channel, our third TV station, and so we haven't named that yet. I'm waiting for the naming of that so we can really do some things, special things, but we have grown like you can't believe. We have a convention coming up next week, and it's the Wisconsin Community Media, and I can't wait to go to that. It's fun to sit there and listen to other people and other communities and think to myself, we are so blessed to have this facility and the staff that's here to make this program, this media center, what it is today. Jeff Robbins, our executive director, Mara Trusty, Rachel Packard, Colin Lessing. That's our staff, man. That is 4 people staff that make things happen, and we're very proud of their accomplishments. Now we're looking to take it to the next level. And of course, the Media Center is supported by a Friends group. I am the president of that currently, and I have a 15 staff board of directors made up of some of the big names in Sun Prairie to really give focus and to be advisors to the Media Center, along with being the fundraising arm for the Media Center, and we're proud to do that. Like I said, we've got a great group of people, Theresa Stevens being the vice president of that. Rachel Hansen is my treasurer. We've got Terry Van Tassel is the secretary, and just a huge host of people for the Media Center. So I'm excited about that. But couldn't be prouder to be a supporter of this wonderful media station. My travels to Kentucky. I mean, I go down. My dad is 83 years old. Goes through dialysis 3 days a week. He's, like I said, he's 83. He probably weighs about 110 pounds. I mean, he's always been a little dude anyway. He's just a little bitty guy. Got more hair on him than I know. I gave him a haircut while I was there. I used to call him the silverback because his back is so hairy. And by the way, you're saying, well, why aren't you that way? Well, he's my stepdad. But in my world, he is my dad. I really didn't know my father. Didn't hang out with him. I knew who he was. I got to see him once in a while. That wasn't a priority for him. And that's okay. people make their choices. But this man, Jim Swigert, stepped up, and he is my dad. Because you know the saying, you've heard this, right? Anybody can be a father, but it takes a hell of a man to be a dad. And that's what he was, because he had to put up with me. And thank him I thank him every time I see him for marrying my mom and loving me the way he does. But again, he's getting up there in age, and his house is about 2,200 square feet. It's a ranch-style condo. He calls it patio homes because that's what they call them in Kentucky where he lives. It's a patio home. He's still making condo fees or homeowner association fees. But it's interesting because my sister and I are trying to get him, like a lot of you out there, to consider going into independent living. Now, and the reason for that is he gets a lot of support mechanisms, whether it's people or meals being brought into him every day. He has a resource where, if people checking up on him daily. Now, I have an uncle that does that. My dad's best friend, Billy Andrew, he checks up on him every day, help run him to appointments and stuff. But having that transition from your family home to independent living. Now that's not assisted living. That's before assisted living. It's just such a challenge and such a struggle that. How do you address that? How do you address that? And if you're on Facebook right now and you've got some insights for me, let me know. Tell me if you've gone through this, because it's hard, and I understand why it's so hard to say, hey, I want you to move out of the home that you lived with your wife and go into a completely new place that you've never been to, you don't know any of the people probably, and be happy. But then again, how do we give up that freedom? I guess that's the big thing. As we age in this aging world, how do we give up that freedom? What we perceive as freedom, being independent. He's fine. He tells me, because we go down, Leslie goes, so I've been there in April, Leslie will go down in May, and my sister is the one that's directing all this, the attorney, and all this. She believes Dad needs to see us every single month or once. And he and I had a conversation. He calls me Billy. Billy, you don't need to be down here. That's a long drive. I know it takes a lot of time out of your business. I said, Dad, I love seeing you. I love spending time with you. And I'm always here to do things. So I have my little jobs when I get down there, which I think is funny. When I say down there, I think it's funny when I say down to Kentucky, but it does feel like I'm going downhill. But I like being with my dad. I love spending time, and I know I'm going to miss that when he's gone. We just celebrated the 2nd year of my mom's death. Yeah, my mom died on the date 4/3/21. Isn't that something? What a memory to have for that. And it tugs at the heartstrings every time I even talk about it. But what I'm looking at is trying to make my dad as comfortable as he can, because I know he's still dealing with it. He misses her, and he tells me how bad he misses her. But then to ask him to consider a different living arrangement. I could use help here with this, and I think I will pull from the folks at Talmor and get them in here to talk about this, because I think that's important for us to learn how we make that discussion, how we have that conversation with people, how we convince them to do it. Because I got to tell you, I'm at the house, and of course I'm doing the dishes, I'm doing some cleaning and all this, and just looking around the house, and it's stuff that was my grandmother's, my great-grandmother's, and something that my mom cherished. My dad's not the one that really gets hung up on things, but my mom was. And I kept thinking to myself, what are we going to do with all this stuff? Because I know that my sister isn't really interested in that. Like dressers or bureaus or what do you call them? Hutches and stuff like that. She's just not she's not into things. And I'm into collecting and saving those things. I have pocket watches, cufflinks. I've got pistols, rifles. I've got pictures. I've got hats. I save a lot of things from my past that to me are important. So what do you so if you move somebody into an independent living, now they can take some stuff with them. And what my dad's going to say is, I want my chair. And I get it. He wants his chair. It's comfy. I got a chair at home too. I love my chair. I could nap in that all day long. But you got to move some of that in, and you figure out what it is you want to move in there. But it's an interesting conversation about living arrangements and stuff. Living arrangements and stuff. Now, at 83, my dad is still working. Oh, he's one of those. He's like me. He's got to stay active. He's got to do this stuff. And what he is doing is he's working with a doctor. My dad has his doctorate. He was a chemist, organic chemist, and spent his life developing things like the propellant in the airbags that we were talking about earlier. His company created that, and to create the speed that they needed and the propulsion of that. And then also he was involved in the creation, design, and production of the O-rings that are used out there, especially on the space shuttle, on the rockets. So he's got quite a background in this. And I forgot where I was going with this stuff. But he's just an incredible guy. And where do we, how do we make that transition? I don't know. I don't know. How do we convince them? I want them to be happy. I don't know how long I've got them. I may have them for a day, a week, a year, a month. It's fine. I just want them to be happy. I want them to be content. I want them to be comfortable. And, and I want to be able to remember every moment I have with him. And so I think what I'll do is I'll have a show on that. And we'll get to tell more people in here. I think it's Sharon to come in here and talk about that and see how we do with it. But yeah, it's an interesting time in your life when your parents are going through there. Now, the thing is, what I find interesting is that Terry, my other half, she's dealing with the exact same thing, but in a more severe situation. Her mom's had too many strokes. She fell in the bathroom, and if Terry's sister hadn't been there, she'd probably still be laying there. And so we're concerned about that. She lives in Florida, in Fort Myers, and they're trying to work with her to make some changes. And I'm hoping that they're going to have the same conversations that we're talking about right now. But she's very independent, and she's by herself. She doesn't like these caregivers coming into her house. It's just not a thing for her. Doesn't want that. So it's an issue. But I guess this is what we get to deal with as we age as people. But got about 15 minutes left in the show, and I want to talk about driving to Kentucky. Oh my gosh, driving to Kentucky. I got to tell you. So I left Thursday. I worked out, and then I packed up and I took off. And my maps, I call it maps. I always put maps on. I always have that on. Reason being is it tells you about accidents. It also it'll help divert you if you want to a faster route or something like that, or what it thinks is a faster route. It tells you where there's a speed trap, which I'm not normally speeding that much, but it does happen. And I just have it on all the time. But this time it was interesting. So I'm driving towards Rockford. I've got maps on, and normally I go through Rockford and I go down 39. I go down 39 and then cut through Bloomington, take a left and head over to Indianapolis, take a right, head to Louisville, take a left, head to Shelbyville, Kentucky, where I was born. My family is hiding. There's no hills there, but we are from Kentucky. We all have our teeth, and we wear shoes. This time on the way down, what was interesting is that the maps insisted that I go through Chicago. So you go down, you go 290, and you cut down that way, and then you hit 65 and just go south. And I thought to myself, okay, well, it's like 9 o'clock. I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, I could do that. I mean, 9 o'clock, traffic's got to be out of there and stuff. And so I let the computer actually tell me which way to drive. It is faster by about 20 minutes. It is faster. But to me, it's a more stressful drive. And this trip, it just confirmed it. Because the traffic was just busy. And there are wackos out there. And you know what I'm talking about. You've seen them. You've driven with them. You've been around them, I'm sure. And this was all the way down from like Rockford all the way through Indianapolis to Louisville, of which, when you go across the bridge in Louisville over the Ohio River, I know that I'm going to get off there, stay to the left to go towards Lexington. Well, for some reason, my brain got the wetware in between my ears, called a brain, that's hidden by that gray matter called hair, told me to stay right. Told me to stay right. What the hell? I've never done that in probably 50 trips I've made down there. And so I got off that way. But anyway, it's the people that are driving. Now, here's what's interesting about this trip. In the 2 trips going down and coming back, I didn't see one police officer. None. 0. None. Nobody was around. Nobody was there. I guess they were okay with the traffic and everything. And maybe it's a blessing. Maybe I should look at it like that. But it was just kind of funny. There were no police officers. And cars were moving like you can't believe. I mean, if I told you I was at 79 miles an hour, I was at 79 miles an hour. I locked it in. I'm on my cruise. I am being passed like you can't believe. I mean, they're just flying by me. They have to be going 90 or even more. And you just wait for the police to catch them. I do anyway. I want them to come out of that area where, you know, the police zone where you don't see them, and next thing you know, they're behind you. You're like, what? Where'd they come from? And they're just flying by. They're flying by. Now, it's 2 and 3 lanes as you're driving. And like I said, I'm at 79 miles an hour. The speed limit is at 70. I'm at 79. I feel comfortable with that. No judgment, please. I know some of you go a lot faster. Some of you go slower. Please, no judgment. That's what I'm comfortable doing because I feel, though, I'm staying with traffic is why I do that. And believe me, if I were going slower, I would have been killed. Somebody would have hit me. But here's what I want to say about that. You get into these 2-lane situations, and there's always that person in the left lane that doesn't realize they're going slow in the left lane. I think that's what it is. Or what they're doing is that they're just owning the road. They camp out in the left lane. So you get this pack of cars. They come driving down the road. All of a sudden, there's 2 lanes. You've got one car in the right lane, and you got this other one that's hanging out like right next to it, and they're not moving. They're content just staying side by side with that car. And now the cars behind them, we're stacking up 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're all in the left-hand lane, waiting so we can get by at a higher rate of speed. I don't know. And then what happens is they enter the right lane. Now you got right and left lane, and they're backed up, and it's sitting pretty for an accident if you think about it. They're just waiting. You're waiting for an accident to happen, right? But they camp out. And when you drive by, you know you want to get angry with them, but I just don't believe in doing that. So you look over at them, and they're finally, after they move over, they're just oblivious. That it's like they didn't even know anybody was behind them. Or what happens is there's a gap in the cars, and the one that's in the left lane continues in the left lane. And they keep going, and now the right side opens up, and now it's a fight around the right side. And then when you go around the right side, they kind of look at you. And some people told me I was number one. I know that. But it's just crazy. Why? Is it an ownership thing? Is it a possession thing? I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. I am not one that hangs out in the left lane. I always move over. But absolutely hilarious. I mean, the people that were flying by me, that was amazing in itself. And when I say they're flying by me, I'm telling you, they were cooking. Their foot was all the way down on that gas pedal, and they were gone. In my brain, the male testosterone brain that I have, that's competitive and all that good stuff, I kept thinking, oh, they're the rabbit. They're going to get caught. Okay, so the cop didn't go to worry about me going 79 miles an hour. They're going to get the guy going 90 miles an hour. But there weren't any cops. And I'm still trying to figure out something else about the highways. Maybe you can help me with this. Have you ever been on one of these highways where all of a sudden you see the sign on the side of the road that announces trucks will drive in the left lane? The semis. I'm talking about the semi-truck. That they will drive in the left lane. What's that all about? I don't get it. I think they're just doing that to mess with people. Maybe maybe the state is doing that to play with people in the way that that hang out in the left lane. So they're putting the big trucks there to make them slow down even more. And the trucks are going about the same. They're going about 75, 79 miles an hour. Yeah. I don't worry about the trucks. They're pretty cool people. And if you give them room, if you let them in, man, you got buddies, But it's not about, not about the trucks. The trucks aren't going 90 miles an hour. They're not. It's the little podunk cars. Once in a while, sports car. Maybe I would have seen one Corvette that went flying by me, but normally Corvettes are driving at a decent rate. Any respectable Corvette owner that really respects that car is not driving fast. And having been one, I've owned 3 of them, and yeah, I never drove my Vet like that. It's not about how fast you can go; it's about knowing that you can. But it's just an interesting experience. A lot of time. A lot of good, what I call head time, a lot of thinking time. But when you have this entertainment that's around you, it just makes the trip more enjoyable. And Jeff Robbins likes to drive, and so I was thinking about him when I was driving because watching these, I'll call them idiots, on the road was hilarious. I just needed to stay away from them and just continue my journey, right? You get there when you get there. If I get there 5 minutes earlier, no big deal. 5 minutes late, no big deal. But it was an interesting time. It was an interesting drive. I enjoyed it. It's green down south, folks. Oh my gosh, the trees are in full bloom. It's beautiful down there, and it's coming. It's coming, Wisconsin. It was 88 when I went down on Thursday. It did get cold. But then again, I am in my dad's house. He's 83, so it was 80 degrees in his house. My bedroom window was open the whole time. I keep the door shut. It had to be like 60 degrees in there because they did have some cold temperatures. When I left on Sunday morning about 9, it was 40 degrees. 40 degrees. But like I said, it's all green and beautiful down there. The Kentucky Derby is the first Saturday in May, so they're getting ready for that. They had Thunder Over the River, which is in Louisville, which is a big, huge fireworks display, and Thunder Over the River, I think is what they call it. great time. We did not go there. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. But the festivities will now start winding up for Derby week, and it is a week like you can't imagine. It's when Super 8 hotels now cost $200 a room. But the activities and the events are fabulous. If you ever have a chance to go to the Derby, I really invite you to do that. There are two ways to watch it. One is in the infield, and the other one is in the stands in the box. Of course, you can. I've been there in shorts and t-shirt. I've been there in a suit, bow tie, the whole thing. So it's a lot of fun. But you have to experience it if you ever have a chance to. Or if you're in Kentucky, you've got to go to the Kentucky Derby Museum, to Churchill Downs, to the Derby Museum. It's quite a museum. Really enjoy it. Yeah. So that time of season for them is happening right now. But so here's got about 2 minutes left in the show. I'm going to get out of here, and I want you to join me this Wednesday. We're going to talk about some legislative issues. I'm hoping to have Bill Connors on. I'm going to get a hold of him to confirm that, and we're going to talk more about housing. And next week, next Monday, I hope we have a great show. I'll talk about that later, and about the transitioning and all that with transgender. So folks, have a great Monday. See me on Saturday, and join me at the Spring Gala for the Sun Prairie Library Foundation celebrating the Kentucky Derby. So we will see you then. Take care, Sun Prairie. Have a great Monday. Thanks, Facebook. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate it. Everything that you do and all that good stuff. So, thanks for joining me. Uh-oh. Huh. What did you want? There we go.